A disability is something that has a major impact on your life.
Every disability is different.
And it's never the same thing for two people. I am blind in my right eye totally and partially sighted in my left eye.
I was 18 years old. We were traveling way too fast on a gravel road. Broke my neck, my back.
My Asperger's syndrome and my cerebral palsy.
I have anxiety and depression. People would have no idea just talking to me.
Being independent means different things to different people.
I want to live in my own house. I want to pay my own bills.
Live independently and not rely on other people.
When someone is not able to live as independently as they can, it does have a detrimental effect on people's physical and mental well-being.
It's no complicated thing. It's just that people with disabilities want to be included.
Plenty of people get stuck in ruts when they feel like they can't overcome something in their life. That's where Lyft comes in.
Living independently for today and tomorrow. Lyft. We help people of all ages and all types of disabilities find the resources or acquire the skills to live as independently as possible.
We serve the southeastern 18 counties here at the Billings office. We have a variety of things that we offer. We can help with grant funding for adaptive equipment.
Maybe a home modification so they're able to access their home. We help people to find that funding.
Helping people apply for Social Security benefits.
Medicaid, Medicare, housing.
They have a peer support group. Peer support, I think, is key.
Sharing life experiences is one of the most powerful things to help people who might be new to disability, who might be struggling with their disability.
Youth transitions is kids that are transitioning out of high school. They need to learn those adulting skills. It might be rent an apartment, learn how to grocery shop, budgeting.
Help someone advocate for themselves in a school or an employment setting. One of our biggest strengths is providing folks with information and referral. If we can't help you, we hope to know who can.
A lot of times we'll have a potential consumer call in and they think that they just have one need, and it turns out that we end up finding 3 or 4 things we can actually do for them.
You can just come in and say, hey, I feel like I have this going on. Can you help me? And we can, which is so cool to me. I love that.
Most of us on staff at Lyft have identified ourselves as having one or more disabilities. That is helpful in many cases.
It's easier to empathize with someone when you yourself have struggled with a disability.
This is what we specialize in. This is who we are, and this is what we do.
And it costs nothing to go to Lyft. It's a nonprofit organization and they're there to help.
Somebody that was a consumer that was working with Lyft was asked to do an art project. He visualized that the balloon helps to lift people up. And then it became the logo, and it's stuck.
There's been success on all kinds of levels.
It's really rewarding to have a consumer go, hey, I was able to do this by myself today.
We want people to live their best life as independent as possible.
Live as everyone else in society and live as a part of society, not apart from society.
Everybody needs help. Sometimes you just need a little more help, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
There's plenty of life to live still, and there's a way you can do it. Keep chipping away at it, little by little by little.
Knowledge is power. Let's share it, for crying out loud.
Send us an email, give us a call. We'll do our best to help.
We can definitely help figure out what your needs are and get started on that. We're one of many steps in the path to independence, and we're happy to be serving people here in the community.
Good day. Welcome to another edition of Living Well Montana. Living Well Montana is a program of Living Independently for Today or Tomorrow, otherwise known as LIFT. LIFT is what is known as a Center for Independent Living here in our area in Montana. We are a nonprofit source of information, resources, and advocacy for people with all types of disabilities at any age across our 18-county service area in southeast and south central Montana. For information about LIFT, I encourage you to please check our website at www.lift.org or download our mobile app for either your Apple or your Android device. My name is John Robinson, and it is my privilege to be the Outreach Director and Community Health Worker Supervisor for LIFT. With that said, I would like to introduce our two guests today. We have Ms. Tara Robinson, who is the Independent Living Specialist Program Manager, and also the Living Well and Community Program Facilitator for LIFT. Then we have Ms. Tanya Thomas, who is the Peer Coordinator and Co-Facilitator of the Living Well and Community Program. So with that said, welcome to the both of y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. So first, let's do a little bit of introduction. Let's get into it. So let's start with you, Tara. You're the boss lady. So if you don't mind, please tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do at LIFT, and why you're here today.
My name is Tara Robinson. Like you were trying to say, I am the IL Program Manager and the LWC, or Living Well and Community Facilitator. And I run our IL program specialists. Those are the people that, if you were to call it to LIFT needing services, they're the ones that help you get those services, do your intake, things like that, guide you in the right directions. So I help run that program. I also am the facilitator, so I teach the workshops. And I could not do it without the help of Tanya here.
Okay.
And the workshops are that we teach help people with disabilities.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Tanya, tell us a little bit about you and what you do at LIFT.
Thank you, sir. My name is Tanya Thomas. I am the Peer Program Coordinator for LIFT. I'm in the Peer Program. It's my goal to empower people coming in under my program, living with disabilities, empower their skill sets, empower their motivation, their positivity, try to find what they're great at, what they enjoy, and have them leaving the program more empowered than they feel when they come in. So that is what I do, and I also co-facilitate with Tara, and I love the LWC curriculum. It's a great program, and I think that it's wonderful for necessary daily life skills. It's great. It's great information for that.
I agree. So I do apologize to the viewers and to my amazing two guests. I'm not wearing my glasses today because I left them at the office. So trying to read, yeah, I messed that up. But I apologize. Let's move on. Okay, so let's get into it. So LIFT has so many services. We help people with stuff like wheelchair ramps, walk-in showers, filing for benefits, whether it's Social Security, Medicaid, you name it. Then we have the PCA program. We have the community health workers. We have so many programs, and the Living Well Community is an amazing one. So what is it?
So what Living Well in the Community workshop falls under our independent living skills services. What independent living skills are daily living skills. Household management, money management, time management, healthy relationship management. It's skills for basic daily living, so that you can do it in a healthy and happy way and live with your disability and function in your community and have a healthy, motivated daily life. The LWC program itself, the whole goal of the workshops is to have you living your most healthy, happy, life, and LWC gives you the skill sets to be able to incorporate healthy habits on a daily basis so you can live a healthy, happy life.
Okay. Now I know I sat in a little bit on some of the classes and I was actually amazed. One question that I know will pop up from our viewers, our amazing consumers, is this in person or can this be in person or Zoom?
Actually, we offer both.
Okay.
Now, in the wintertime, we pretty much only do a Zoom due to weather.
Yeah.
But in spring, summer, fall, whenever we schedule those, we do offer both in-person and Zoom classes to help suit people's needs. And it also depends on which county you're in, because obviously if they're too far away, Zoom would be better.
Okay.
So,
So I think you kind of answered it, but let's get a little deeper. What is Living Well in the Community?
so Living Well in Community is a 10-week workshop that each session builds upon itself to help build skills and confidence for people with disabilities so that they can go out in the community, they can live a healthy life and advocate for themselves, so that, they don't, because sometimes people with disabilities have a tendency to shut themselves in. So this allows them to build on those, and we continue to support them even afterward, which is where the peer program comes in. And it's to give them the confidence to choose and have just a healthier life.
Okay. So we know that in the state of Montana, we have a lot of people who internalize stay at home, don't go nowhere. But then we add people with disabilities into that. That's like triple fold. People with disabilities don't want to leave their house for one reason or another. And so I like this because it's a proactive approach to get them out of the house and get them doing something productive.
Well, and we can help them overcome obstacles, because
Yeah.
sometimes they have an obstacle where they feel they can't get out because of transportation, or they can't get out because they're in a wheelchair and maybe don't have a proper wheelchair ramp.
Yeah.
So we help them navigate and learn how to overcome those obstacles
Okay.
and give them the tools to do that.
Okay. So you said that's a 2-week course. What happens, let's say if I was a consumer attending, and let's say if I was there for the first 1-2 classes, but let's say due to doctor's appointments, whatever, I had to miss a class. Would I be excluded for the program or could I rejoin?
You could rejoin. I allow you to miss up to 2 classes,
Okay.
as long as, because people get sick, things like that. Anything after 2 classes, you have to be withdrawn, and then you just come to the next class.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned the workshop. What's it about?
So,
We basically, the workshop gives you tools to, each chapter in the workshop throughout the 10 weeks is a different tool for building your skills to live fulfilling, healthy daily life.
Okay.
and the workshop itself is, it teaches you living the most satisfying life possible and developing your healthy living skills. And we start out with, first thing we do is we offer an orientation. And that allows people to come in and learn more about the workshops, understand what the curriculum is and how it's going to work. And we only meet once a week. And then they can decide if they're ready to take the workshop and if they're ready to make those changes in their life. Because making changes and trying to do certain things is not always easy for some people, and not always easy for everybody. But when you're ready to do it, then you're ready to face that, and it lets you know if you're ready to do this. Some people might not be at that time, maybe at a later time. So we'll let you come in and see what it's about first.
Okay, one question I have for you is, it's 1 class a week. Excuse me. Typically, what day of the week is it?
We vary. It depends on the scheduling for our community room.
Okay.
So that, because we have to share our community room with the rest of the building.
Oh, yeah.
So depending on, we do try to do it in the morning, early afternoon, so that if people have children, then it doesn't interfere with them being home with kids and things like that. Kids can be in school and they can drop them off.
And it's generally a 2 to 3 hour session,
Exactly.
depending on each class's need.
Now, if,
One question that will be asked is, let's say if I'm a single father, if I have a child, if need be, if I can't find babysitting or childcare, can I bring the child with me?
yes, we've had
Okay.
people do that. If we know ahead of time, we try to set up a little area so that they can do that. As long as they're not disruptive to the class, if they want to sit in color or do something, we can set some things up so that they can be entertained while we're doing.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I'm not against that at all.
Okay. Do you have any further information for the workshop?
Yes.
So the first chapter in the workshop is what it's a goal setting chapter. And what we do is we have the participants think about a goal they'd like to achieve. It can be a big goal, it can be a small goal, but we teach them how to break that goal down into smaller steps. We teach them how to make it a goal they can attain. It's got to be a specific goal. It's got to be something they can measure the results from. It's got to be something they can attain.
Can you give me an example of a goal?
So, like, sometimes I, as a facilitator, I'll bring a goal with me to class so that I can go through the process with them. My goal
I
is
do as
generally healthy eating or weight loss. So
Okay.
my attainable goal would be in this 10-week session, because we take the goal and we add each chapter on, we add each skill set on, and we take the goal through the whole program to show them how they can achieve the goal using the tools in each chapter.
Okay.
So my goal would be, in this 10 weeks, I want to lose 15 pounds, or I want to eat more vegetables every day, or I want to exercise for 20 minutes a day. It can be, like I said, it can be a really complicated goal. I would like to learn how to start a business. Or it can be a really simple goal. I would like to learn how to take a shower every day and set my clothes out before I do that so that I'm up and dressed by 9 o'clock in the morning. It can be something very simple, something a little more complicated. It just depends on what their need is. But we show them how to break that goal down into steps so that it doesn't become overwhelming to them.
So, one note that I just thought of on that is some viewers that we have may not have any disabilities. Some do. So, to the normal person, if there is such a thing as a normal person without disabilities, they're like, take a shower. That makes no sense. I do that every day. But a lot of viewers don't understand, though, that that could be a disability people have where they don't
Sometimes-
necessarily do that.
Exactly.
Or their
Sometimes-
physical, it takes
Yep.
them longer because they have a
Yep.
physical disability, but their goal is to make sure that they are up and ready by 9 o'clock or
Or
something like
what
that.
if they've been suffering with, maybe they have a mental health issue, maybe it's a disability that's not
Visual.
it's
Yeah.
not visible, and maybe they struggle to, oh, I've been depressed and I can't seem to get in the shower every day. And so, like I said, these goals can be small or they can be big, but it's about what that person needs and would like to accomplish.
So the consumers, when they come in for it, they pick their own goal, and that's what they work on.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
that's amazing. I wasn't aware of that.
And then the next session, which is building support. So after you get your goal, then sometimes when you plan a goal, you kind of run into what we call roadblocks. You can have a few problems. So with that session, we help you work through how to get over those roadblocks, how to find options to take care of that, or maybe you need to divert just a little bit or something like that. We give you the tools and to work through that,
Okay.
so that you have that chance of getting past the, because a lot of people are intimidated when it comes to a goal. But the truth is everybody has had goals and they didn't even know it,
Yeah.
and they completed them. They just didn't call them goals.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what building support is, and finding people in their lives that help them continue that goal. Because you don't need somebody that's going to be negative. So we're going to continue. We help them build that up
Okay.
and find those options.
Okay.
The next chapter that builds on that is healthy reactions.
Okay.
Consumers learn about how the way they react to barriers, to roadblocks. They learn how the way that they react to those problems when something doesn't necessarily go their way or if things going aren't as planned. They learn how their reaction affects the continuation of their goal. So if they react in a poor way and they get frustrated, they might be more susceptible to just quitting and giving up.
Yep.
And we try to teach them how to deal with the frustration and how to think in a more positive manner so that they can continue on with their goals and acknowledge the fact that we always have, we're always gonna, something's always gonna come up, we're always gonna have something, but it's how we react that's gonna change the way, the direction we go from there.
Okay. One question that I had about this course is there anything that could possibly, as far as you know, cause triggers with a consumer who are attending? For example, somebody has recovering from alcohol, drug addiction, anything of that nature, or they might have had a violent past. Is there anything that caused a trigger throughout this training that could kind of like put them in an episode where they might be withdrawn or anything of that nature? Does that make sense?
Not that I could think of. If anything, it would help them learn to overcome
Okay.
that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if something happens to them, if they're triggered by something we're discussing, I would assume that we would open it up for
Yeah.
a discussion with them and, you know, make sure that they're comfortable enough. But we haven't run into that as of yet.
Good.
Mostly it's just positive things that we're offering so that maybe
Okay.
that we could offer them a little perspective they maybe didn't have before.
What's next?
So staying to kind of elaborate on what she was saying, the next course would be staying on course is what it's called. So sometimes when you hit those frustrations and, especially if you act frustrated, you want to just quit and not keep up your goal. So we give you tools to work through that, continue your goals. Maybe if you have to set that particular goal aside for a little bit, sometimes it's not your fault, it's just the way life happens, and then come back to it.
Okay.
Learn to overcome the frustration, learn to overcome the roadblocks or detours that you may have.
Okay.
Okay. And then she'll talk about our healthy communication.
Healthy communication is the next building block. It's super important for anybody, not just people living with disabilities, but anybody in general, to have healthy communication skills. You want to be clear about your wants, about your needs. You want to make sure that you're heard and understood. Healthy communication is all about that process. It helps you to not only get the things that you need to have to live this healthy daily life. It helps you build relationships. You need to communicate healthily with your care providers. You need to communicate healthy with your employers. You need healthy communication with your family, with your friends, with the loved ones in your life. That's what that chapter is about. It's about how to maintain healthy communication, the process of healthy communication, and why it needs to be clear so that the things that you need and the things that you're trying to achieve are clear, and the information that you need is something that you can obtain because you're being clear. So,
Okay. Thank you, Tanya.
And then after that, we do a chapter called Seeking Information. So when you're trying to complete your goal, sometimes you have to look for information, and we have an ability to get information in a lot of different ways nowadays. However, not all of that information is correct, or all of that information is right for you. So we teach you the different ways of finding information, and then we teach you how to determine if that information is right for you. Because, some people, they read a tabloid and they believe everything in it. And then there's the other people who are totally on the other end of the scale where they don't believe anything. So we kind of help you figure out the in-between. So,
Okay. Good.
okay.
Is there any more?
Yep.
So people forget a lot of times about part of well-being has to do with nutrition and eating well. So we do touch base in that chapter about how proper nutrition and maintaining a healthy eating lifestyle is crucial for the energy that you have, for the emotional, for the emotional needs that you have, for how you're feeling about yourself, about your day, how food affects those things, and how your choices of food affects the energy you have, the things that you're doing. And I think everybody forgets that part, but we do include that because it is a really big part.
It is.
And
So-
along with that, we also include discussions about physical activity
Yep.
and how that affects your life, and how that would be the session after that, and how you can learn to incorporate that into your lifestyle, and start doing that to make you feel better based off of your abilities.
Okay. I think what we're going to do is, because we're coming close to time now, I know there's probably other details for the workshop. So I think we're going to do is, I think we're going to do another one of these with you ladies about this program, because it's vital information that the consumers and the viewers need to know. So let's go ahead and pause on the workshops for now. I know that if our consumers would like more information about this and what's entailed in the workshop, they could definitely give us a call, shoot us an email to get more information. So a couple important questions before we end. So first question is, when the consumers or the viewers, if they want this and they sign up, are there any fees associated with this, and how do they sign up?
So all they need to do is contact our office, and if they're not already a consumer with us, then we just make them a consumer. That we just do an intake packet on them. There are no fees involved. This is a service that is offered by Lyft, so that doesn't cost them anything. And then they just, and then they show up for orientation. Actually, they can even, if they're not a consumer, they can do a packet at the orientation.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
and all you got to do is look at our website or call our office to find out when the next orientation will be.
So obviously we have two offices, one in Billings, one in Glendive. So if people in Glendive want to attend, are they able to?
They are able to do it via Zoom.
Okay.
They do not currently have a facilitator up there, but they are working on it.
Okay.
But yes, we can do. If anybody in counties that cannot reach where we're at in Billings, we would definitely be more than happy to have them on with a Zoom meeting.
Okay. So I think what we're going to do is, like I said before, running short on time. So in the future, we're going to do another one of these episodes specifically for living well in the community.
Okay.
And then, so this is vital information that consumers really need to know. So this is going to bring us to an end. Once again, I would like to thank you for watching. I would just like to show appreciation for Channel 7, who is one of our amazing community partners, for allowing us to do this. I'd like to thank our guest, and obviously the viewers that are out there watching this. So with that said, I hope you all have an amazing day. And once again, ladies, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.